Finding our comfortable seated position. We're resting our tailbone, lengthening our spine, shoulder blades, tailbone rest. Feel a few long deep breaths traveling through the nose towards the belly. Relaxing the breath back out of our belly, back out of our nose. Feel the spine lengthening, the shoulders resting. Let's slide an ear to the shoulder, let the side of the neck open. Reaching tall, stretching towards the other side. Reaching tall, send our shoulder blades up and down a few times. As our shoulders rest, our palms open, inhaling fingers towards the ceiling. Exhaling thumbs towards the heart. Inhaling as we lengthen. Exhaling as we lower. Let's find one more breath. Inhaling tall. And exhaling down. Sliding one arm towards the sky. Let's stretch it over. Let the side ribs open and breathe. Shoulders relaxing, hips releasing. Let's find neutral spine and trade. Opposite arm extends, and then we can stretch it over. Coming back to the center with our inhale, lifting the ribs. Let's exhale and softly relax to the side. We can stay or inhale, lifting taller, and exhale, twisting deeper. Just a few breaths. Let's find neutral, inhaling, reaching tall. Exhaling to the other side softly, or we can inhale taller and exhale, twist deeper, and breathe. Come to the center, inhaling, lifting. Exhaling thumbs to our heart. Sending our bodies to all fours. Relaxing wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, lower belly finds our neutral spine. Inhaling, pulling the chest forward as we open a cow. Exhale, folding the ribs as we sink into cat. And we'll feel a little flowing movement as we breathe. Expanding and relaxing into our breath. We're welcome to keep this movement flowing up and down. We can find a little neutral spine. Folding shoulders towards the hips on one side. Shoulders towards the hips on the other side. A little releasing side to side. Keep breathing. As we find a little evenness in our movements, sending the ribs in to stabilize our spine. Let's stretch the right heel back, hanging out here, left fingertips forward, or left thumb to the sky. Then we'll release that side down and then trade, extending through the left heel, hanging out, or right fingertips forward or right thumb to the sky. And as we relax here, let's flow side to side. Inhaling, opposite arm, opposite leg, and exhaling it down. Inhaling, opposite arm, opposite leg, and exhaling it down. Feeling that flowing movement side to side as we breathe. Let's do one more each side. And then from here, sliding our elbows underneath our shoulders. So we have the option to just push the collarbone towards the ribs, and you'll feel a stretch in the back of the shoulders. If we'd like more intensity in the stretch, you can walk the arms out further and send the collarbone towards the ground. Wherever our shoulders feel like stretching, let's take a couple deep breaths. And pushing into the forearm, sliding our tailbone towards our heels, wherever our traditional child's pose brings us today. Fingertips can stay reaching to the top of the mat. Arms can stretch to the left, reaching our right side body open and breathe. And finding neutral, stretching towards the other side. Let's move back to the center, continuing in child's pose or picking up the tailbone to downward dog. We can stay in our knees bend posture, downward dog, or legs straight, or pedal up the feet, our body's choice, wherever we're feeling a good stretch. Helping our feet towards the hands as our heels relax underneath our hips. Feel the fingertips resting on the floor or the shins or the thighs. We can enjoy stillness here or let our head and neck flow a little up and down, maybe a little side to side. Maybe a little up and down again. Let our inhale lift us just halfway. Feel reach through the back of the head, the back of the hips. As we feel the heels pushing into the ground, inhaling, reaching fingertips towards the sky. Exhaling, thumbs into the heart. With our inhale, reaching the heart towards the sky. With our exhale, hinging just halfway. Resting our palms on the thighs. Inhale, stretching forward. Exhaling, ribs to the thighs, relaxing the head and the neck. Then push through the heels, inhaling, fingertips back up to the sky. Exhaling, thumbs to the heart. Do that again. Inhale, lifting tall. Exhaling, hinging halfway. Resting, palms on the thighs, deep breath. Inhale, ribs press open. Exhale, ribs fold. And then inhale, stretch fingertips to the sky. This time, swan diving all the way down, tailbone back, fingertips feeling the floor, sending the right knee back behind us, relaxing the back knee and toe. Arms can be on either side of the front leg or the inside. Lifting our heart and hips forward as we inhale, we can stay. Or exhaling, hips and thighs back into half pyramid. We're welcome to stay. Or maybe we flow back and forth, inhaling towards our lunge, exhaling towards this pyramid posture, and feel a little stretch back and forth or wherever our body is giving us to relax. Today as we breathe. We're welcome to keep the movement flowing or find a place of stillness that feels the best at the moment, continuing with the tall spine or allowing our heart to find rest towards the thigh. With our next inhale, sending our hips and heart forward. Exhaling as we relax into child's pose, maybe all fours, wherever we feel a good stretch. Continuing or inhaling through our kneeling plank to stay. As we find stability in the spine, exhaling elbows towards the ribs. As our hips relax, inhaling the heart open. Exhaling with control as our tailbone rests towards our heels, finding just a moment to breathe. Helping our right foot slide its way in towards our lunge. Feeling the inhale push our hips and our heart forward. Allowing our exhale to relax our hips and our thighs back. Feeling any flowing movement pattern or stillness wherever our body guides us today. Finding rest into our breath. Flowing or feeling a moment of stillness wherever we're finding a good stretch, spine tall, moving heart towards the thighs, feeling a moment of rest through the breath. Our inhales send us into our lunge, guiding our back toes towards the front toes as we rest in our forward fold. Inhaling as we lift halfway, planting our heels, pushing and lifting the fingertips to the sky. Exhaling, thumbs to the heart. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhale, pushing the tailbone back to chair. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, tailbone back to chair. Take a couple more breaths. Inhale, reaching tall. Exhaling, tailbone back. Inhaling, tall. We're exhaling and hanging out in our chair. So we're feeling the weight in the heels. Toes relaxing. Belly button pulls in to continue to stabilize our spine. With our palms resting on our thighs, take a deep breath and push the heart forward. As we exhale, letting our ribs rest as close towards the thighs as our body gives us today. As we feel the stability in the legs, the stability of the spine resting on our thighs, we have the option to stretch fingertips to the floor, or you can stack your forearms and let your elbows hang from the shoulders. Being mindful that our spine is supported as we relax into the breath with gravity. Our fingertips feel the ground, sliding our left toes behind us into the lunge of our choice. Back knee lifted or uplifted or lowered. We can twist towards the front thigh if that feels like a good option. And breathe. Let's return Return to child's pose or downward dog, enjoying a moment of stillness and relaxation, or welcome to inhale and find plank or kneeling plank, continuing with strength here, or finding control as we exhale, elbows towards the ribs, letting our inhale open the front side body, and exhale, stretch it all the way back, letting our body find rest into our breath. Sending our left toes forward as we're ready. Back heel rests under the knee or lifted. Front heel under the knee. Let's add our twist when we're ready. Then returning to child's pose or downward dog. Feeling just a moment to relax. If our body's feeling like a three-legged dog today, option to slide the right toes up to the sky, helping our right heel come into our lunge. Moving our bodies into any variation of a warrior two that our bodies cooperate with today. Fingers drawing towards our legs. Shoulders resting, spine lengthening, take a few deep breaths. Now from here, we're going to try to lengthen the front leg towards straight. Fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, outer hip draws the knee back towards the toes. So it doesn't have to be a big movement. Maybe just engaging inner thigh and then engaging outer hip as we reach the leg towards straight and stabilize as the front knee stretches back towards the toes. Now the next time our front knee finds bend and stability, palms open to the side, sliding the back arm towards the front arm, and then inhaling, opening it out. Exhaling, back arm to the front arm, inhaling, open. Let's do that a few more times. Reaching and expanding. Reaching and expanding. One more. As we find our warrior two, we keep the front knee bent or extend the front leg towards straight, guiding the front arm over the head, reaching towards the back leg as the back hand rests on our hip, thigh, or lower back, wherever we feel stable, stretching through our front side body. And as our arms reach to the T, option to hinge into our body's variation of a triangle at the moment, shoulders reaching towards the front thigh, or if the knee is bent into a side angle variation, and breathe. Let's create a deep bend in the front knee as our hands maybe reach inside the front foot, and we can relax the back knee into the ground. With our exhale, let's slide our hips back, maybe floating the front toes. We can keep fingertips where they are or rest them underneath the shoulders, creating that reach as the heart draws towards the toes on our inhale, and then exhale, relax. Inhaling, reaching forward. Exhale, relax. One more. Inhaling forward. Exhale, relax. Now with as neutral spine as possible, option to twist towards the front thigh and expand the side body. Let's relax. Find our way back to either child's pose or downward dog, wherever our bodies would like to relax for a moment, enjoying peace and rest, or if our bodies feel like a movement, we can send the body into a plank or kneeling plank to stay, building strength. Maybe exhaling, elbows in, inhaling the heart open, and then exhaling our hips back at any time. Resting just a few exhales. Sending the left toes, if you'd like a three-legged dog, up towards the sky. And then we can all help our left foot into our lunge, helping our body find the warrior two variation that works today. Stacking shoulders over the hips as our fingers reach towards our feet. Shoulders relaxing and breathe. So maybe we flow here a little bit, inner thigh pulling the front leg towards straight as the fingers reach towards the ceiling. Outer hip squeezing that front knee back towards the heel. And creating any flowing movement or enjoying stillness is always an option as we stretch through our breath. We're hanging out in our warrior two, palms to the side, letting the exhale slide the back arm towards the front arm, and the inhale, open the ribs back to alongside the mat. Let's Exhale forward. Inhaling open. For a few more breaths. Our body's range of motion. Our body's pace of movement. And exhale, we open. Lengthening that front leg towards straight is an option. That front knee can stay bent. We're sending the front arm over the head. Feeling that stretch through the front side body. Back hand on the thigh, hip, or lower back. Taking just a moment to breathe. As our arms return to our T, exhaling into our body's triangle or side angle. Hand on the thigh, calf, or floor as we expand the lungs. Let's feel that deep bend in the front knee as we travel the fingertips inside the front leg. Back knee can relax. Let our exhale send our tailbone back and our shoulders find a moment to rest towards the side. Maybe we hang out here. Maybe we slide our fingertips under the shoulders. Whichever feels more peaceful, let's inhale. Send our heart towards our toes. With our exhale, relax. Inhaling, stretching forward. Exhale, relax. Let's try one more. Inhaling out. Exhale, rest. And as we feel a neutral spine, wherever that gives our body today, we have the option to twist towards the straight leg and extend through the side body. Let's relax, pulling our hips and heart into our lunge, finding release through child's pose or downward dog, wherever our bodies guide us at the moment. Continuing to relax or feeling reach through our lungs towards our fingertips and plank or kneeling plank to stay. Or we're welcome to exhale, elbows in towards the ribs. Inhaling, expanding the lungs. Exhaling, returning to any resting position that feels the best today. And breathe. And from here, we're going to slide our fingertips closer towards the front of the mat, like we're returning to that elbow under shoulder option we had in the beginning of class. Now we can stay more in a square position as we have all fours, or maybe our knees walk back a couple of inches and we feel more of a kneeling plank, lifting the collarbone, the ribs, the lower belly to support the spine. We're welcome to continue here, or we can tuck the toes, lifting maybe one leg towards straight at a time, or you're welcome to float both knees up off the ground. Take 2 breaths in any variation our body has chosen. If we've lifted our knees, we're sinking our knees back towards the ground and stretching through the spine. Feel that length through the back of the head, the back of the hips, really feeling the tailbone and the fingers stretching in opposite directions. From here, sliding our feet up towards our hands. Any variation of that forward fold. So as we deep bend the knees, our fingertips can feel the ground, or the shins, or the thighs. As we feel supported in the spine, if you'd rather return to that stacked forearms and let your elbows release from the shoulders with gravity, we can just be mindful that our spine is supported as we breathe. And we can relax our hands on our shins, thigh, or floor, and lengthen the spine up halfway. As we press into the ground, let's inhale, stretch fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, thumbs to the heart. With our palms pressing together, let's rock on our feet just for a moment. And then with that one heel on the ground, we're going to bend the other knee, squeezing through the lower belly, maybe opening the thigh to the side, squeezing through the hips, the lower belly, toe can stay on the ground or rest on the inner calf or the inner thigh, or float out to the side, whichever feels the most stable in our body at the moment. Palms at the heart or at the ground, or out from the shoulders or up towards the sky, taking a moment to send our body into a stable position focusing on our breathing, finding length and release through our breath. Releasing our joint and wiggling everything out just a moment. Trading sides when we're ready. So if we like the starting posture we had before, we can ground the palms. Feel the other foot feel the ground, the other knee bend forward or the outer hip opens to the side. Creating stability through the inner thigh, lower belly. As our standing leg takes on the weight, maybe the bent knee leg floats the toe or rests the foot inside the calf, or maybe we help it to the inner thigh. Palms grounding at the heart or relaxing, or reaching out to the side or towards the sky. Anywhere we're finding our stable space today. Feeling our breath, relaxing the body. Finding rest and release with our exhale. Our body's resting. Let's relax our joints just a bit. From here, we're trading legs, so the other heel feels the ground, the other thigh is forward. We're going to reach our arms out to the side, let your shoulders relax. So we're going to start, I'll show you first option, then we'll do second option. So first option, just hang out here with thigh forward, or the thigh to the side. We can also slide the knee out in line with our hip, flexing at the ankle. Maybe staying knee forward or out to the side. Or the arm of the bent knee can hold on, keeping the knee bent, or pushing the heel towards straight, keeping our leg forward, or opening out to the side. Take a moment to breathe. Anywhere we're finding our most stable stretch. 3 deep breaths. Reach to the side. Let's return to neutral, shaking out our joints. Let's find the other side, so same options. Maybe we just hang out with our arms at a T, toes on the ground with the knee bent forward, or outer hip to the side. Again, you can do knee floating out to the side, or holding on, same arm side. Knee continuing to be bent, or extending towards straight, keeping the leg forward, or outer hip, finding reach to the side. Wherever we're finding our stability today, let's breathe. Sending our body back to neutral, shaking out our joints. Feeling the front of our mat, opening our lungs with the inhale. Swan dive through the exhale. Back to either child's pose or downward dog. Anywhere we're feeling our most stable space to hang out for the moment. With our inhale, traveling our bodies towards plank or kneeling plank so we can lower the belly towards the floor with as much control as available. Feeling our head rest either in the back of the hands or the forearms, whichever feels more comfortable. Letting our body have just a moment to breathe. Now from here, our arms reach out to a T, wrist, elbows sliding out from the shoulder. We're going to leave the left arm straight and slide the right palm in towards the rib cage, pushing through the right palm, let's start to roll towards the left arm. So maybe we're hanging out on the side of our body. Option to continue here. If we find too much intensity, we can always bring our chest closer towards the mat. If we're not finding enough intensity, we can bend the top knee and let the sole of the foot feel the ground. If we like more intensity, we can bend the bottom knee, letting the sole of the foot feel the ground. The right hand supporting us can stay supporting us, or reach to the sky, or roll back behind us, resting fingertips towards the ground. Let's take just a couple of breaths wherever our body has guided us today. If we've moved the arm, we're returning it by our ribs. If we've moved the legs, we're bringing them back towards straight. Sliding our ribs towards the mat just enough so that we can free the arm that was out to the side and send it underneath our head. Now we have the option here to just rest our head on the upper arm, or we can bend the elbow and rest our head in our hand. So whichever your neck feels the most stable with. We're going to move our legs. So first option is just lift this top leg up and down. Second option is move both legs up and down. Third option is to squeeze the thighs towards each other and then press them away from each other, whichever feels the most stable, the most controlled movement for our body. Take a few deep breaths. And we'll allow the bottom leg to relax to the floor and the top leg lifts up to the sky. If it's available, pushing the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. Now we can keep the leg still, or feel your inner leg pull the big toe towards the ground as far as we feel stable, and then sliding the heels back towards each other. Then the pinky toe and the outer hip pulls the leg back towards the sky. So we can keep flowing, big toe towards the ground, heels together, pinky toe back towards the sky. Choosing our body's range of motion, our pace of movement. If one of those options and your hip do not feel good, just maybe stay just flowing up and down instead of adding that sideways portion, and breathe. And the next time we feel like we've evened things out, sending our bodies back onto our torso or belly, resting our head and our hands, taking a moment to check in with our bodies, noticing that place of release, maybe noticing one side might feel a little different than the other side. As we're ready, returning our arms to the T, being mindful to trade sides. We're sliding in the left palm, rolling towards the right. And again, same option. If we found too much intensity already, we're just bring the chest closer back towards the ground. If we need more intensity, the top knee can bend, sole the foot to the floor. The bottom knee can bend, sole the foot to the floor. Left hand can stay supporting us, or reach to the sky, or roll and reach behind us. So choose the option, your shoulders, your chest feel the stretch for our bodies at the moment today. 2 breaths. When we feel like our next exhale, if we've moved the arm and the legs, we'll bring them back. Sliding our ribs close towards the ground so we can send that side arm under the head, letting our head relax in the upper arm, or feeling that little kickstand with our elbow. So wherever we're at, moving our legs, option to just move the top leg up and down, or both legs up and down, or the top and the bottom squeezing towards each other, finding that reach, whichever works the best today. Let's breathe through the stretch. As we're ready, allowing that bottom leg to feel the ground, the top leg reaches up towards the sky. And then maybe the sole of the foot pushes up towards the ceiling, feeling stability here, or feel the inner leg pulling the big toe towards the ground as far as we feel stable, sliding the heels closer toward each other, and then maybe the outer hip pulls the big pinky toe back up to the sky. So you can choose any range of motion, any pace of movement. If our body doesn't want to do more of this circling, rotating movement, we can just feel up and down, or just side to side, whichever works better. When we feel like we've completed, let's relax the legs and slide the torso, the belly button back towards the floor on the mat. Resting our head in our hands or upper arms, finding a moment to check in with the body, feeling that release in our hips, feeling that release in our shoulders. From here, we're welcome to slide the palms up by the ribs, squeezing the upper arms in, picking up the lower belly, feeling length as we find the kneeling plank, and then traveling our body into an all-fours position, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and then maybe a little flowing side to side, shoulders towards the hips on one side, shoulders towards the hips on the other side, just a little flowing side to side. Anytime we feel like we've evened out, we're welcome to find any variation of child's pose. So maybe knees are together, knees are wide, or maybe arms reach to the top of the mat, or hands under the forehead, or fingertips back by the ankles. Finding just a moment to breathe wherever our body feels like stretching. Let's feel just 2 breaths here. Anytime we're ready, sliding the spine tall and our tailbone towards the ground. Let our legs lengthen out ahead of us, and may we add just a little rocking movement in our tailbone, a bit side to side. Release here as we breathe. Letting our shoulders relax. Let's feel one outer hip open, inner thigh closes, outer hip opens, inner thigh closes. Finding just a little reach and release through our breath. With our thigh open, we can slide the sole of the foot inside the leg, maybe hanging out of the calf or the thigh or hip region. Picking up the lungs with our inhale. Exhaling, hinging, maybe finding a diagonal line, lengthening through the tailbone, the back of the head. Option to rest the fingertips here. We can stay or inhale, pushing the heart forward. Maybe exhaling, heart towards the thigh. Find 3 breaths. Letting our next inhale. Send our spine tall. Let's trade legs. So the bent knee lengthens. Let's flow the outer hip of the straight leg, what was the straight leg for just a moment, out and in. And then that foot can slide inside wherever we feel stable in our hip and our knee. Inhaling, feeling the ribs growing tall. Maybe exhaling to the diagonal to hang out. We can rest the fingertips. Maybe inhaling, drawing the heart forward. Option to exhale deeper, finding that place of stability and rest that works the best today. Just a couple of breaths here. Feeling our spine growing tall. Relaxing out our legs, rocking our hips a bit side to side. Let's send our soles of the feet towards the top of the mat, finding a place so we can recline behind us. Feeling inner thigh engagement, lower belly engagement, holding on to both legs or one leg or reaching out. We can slide with control our tailbone, lower back, ribs and shoulders towards the ground. Option to rest our arms by our side or slide the fingertips over the head, maybe fingers and toes reach in opposite directions. And then we're resting. Maybe bending the elbows to feel peace in our shoulders, our ribs, our hips. Feeling a moment to breathe. From here, our fingertips reach by our sides. Grounding into the forearms, let's slide the soles of the feet towards each other into any variation of a reclined butterfly with our pinky toes on the ground. Feel stable with. Option to just continue to relax as we are. Option to slide one knee up towards the sky, the other thigh towards the ground, and then maybe over to the other side. And we can feel what I call this little baby windshield wipering movement, releasing our tailbone, finding relaxation through our thigh and our hip for just a couple of breaths. We feel like we've evened out each side. If it feels comfortable, returning to that butterfly, soles of the feet towards each other, thighs resting with gravity. Option to continue relaxing here. Option to slide the arms a little closer towards the body as our shoulder blades wiggle towards each other. Our forearms feel the ground. We have the option to come up into a butterfly bridge, pushing into the forearms and the pinky toes to float tailbone up off the ground, taking just 5 breaths, releasing at any time if our body is not happy with 5 breaths. If we've lifted our tailbone, we're resting our tailbone with our exhales. Letting our arms sway back out to our side, feeling just a moment of peace and relaxation. As we ground into our lower back, feel that lower back press into the floor, forearms press into the floor. We can float the toes up towards the sky, feeling the tailbone resting, the tailbone, the lower back, the ribs all feel the ground. Hands can slide up towards the outer thighs. Or arms can reach inside our legs, stretching towards our shins or reaching towards our toes. Our thighs can stay where they are. We can feel the outer hips pulling them further open as our heels sink a little deeper towards the tailbone. Finding any variation of this butterfly that we feel good about today. Let's get a few resting breaths. We're welcome to continue in our butterfly, or maybe our hands feel the sides of the thighs or the sides of our feet and sliding the soles of the feet up into the ceiling to feel our happy baby of choice. Maybe we enjoy stillness with the tailbone on the ground. Maybe we enjoy a little rocking movement side to side, finding any movement pattern our body agrees with today. Having the option to continue in the happy baby. Our hands can slide inside the feet, calf or thighs, sliding our heels into a V, into our reclined straddle. Enjoying stillness here or rocking side to side. So we can be in our butterfly, we can be in our happy baby, we can be in the straddle. Any option, our hips and our spine feel the best about at the moment. Take a few deep breaths. Joining our big toes together with our legs straight if available. Hands can rest on the thighs, calves, or feet as we feel the heels press up to the sky and our tailbone relax to the ground, finding that stretch through the back of our legs. Just 2 breaths here. As we bend our knees, our hands rest on our thighs, helping to stabilize our knees over the hips. Big toes and knees squeeze together, arms ground by our side, lower back plants. Feeling the exhale, guide the knees a couple inches to one side, the knees a couple inches to the other side. Thinking about our shoulder blades pushing down in towards the floor so we feel a little bit more stability to possibly Move the thighs further away from the body as we exhale. Now we're having the option to keep this movement flowing side to side. Depending on how our spine feels today, maybe the next time our thighs reach towards the left, we let our pinky toes feel the ground, maybe gazing away from our bent knees. Option to also use the hand to guide the thighs closer towards the floor, depending on how much rotation in our spine we feel the most stable with. Let our bodies rest into our breath. Hanging out on one side, squeezing through the abdominals to help our knees reach all the way towards the other side. Option to keep flowing side to side. As our pinky toes feel the ground, we can relax here, maybe gazing away from our knees, maybe using our palm to slide the thighs closer towards the floor, depending on the rotation in our spine our body agrees with. Today, let's relax into our breath. Few resting exhales. Anytime we're ready, sliding the knees back towards the chest, maybe hiking those thighs back in towards our rib cage, planting the spine down into the ground in stillness, or maybe adding just a little rocking movement side to side. From here, pressing the soles of the feet back up towards the sky. We're going to have a few options, so maybe we hang out in any variation of legs up the wall. It might feel more comfortable instead of holding onto the thighs to rest the hands on the sides of our hips, creating a little pedestal action for our legs to relax into. Maybe we feel like sending our feet wide, so our feet find part mat, part floor. Option to just let our knees fall together, or adding even a few windshield wipering movements if that feels like it can stretch through our legs and our hips and our back. We can keep windshield wipering or stay in that recovery position, or returning to our reclined butterfly with our soles of the feet sliding together, our thighs and hips opening wide. Or maybe we find a more traditional position for our final relaxation. Wherever we're finding that position of rest and release, allowing our bodies to focus on our breathing. Feeling the breath traveling from the nose towards the belly. Feeling the breath relaxing back out of our belly, back out of our nose. Noticing that long inhalation. Noticing that long exhalation. May we continue to just breathe into the base of the belly with each inhale. All the way back out of our nose with each exhale. Maybe we add a count in our breath, some options for breathing. We like a little more relaxation for our bodies to calm our mind, calm our breath and our body. Maybe we make our exhales longer than our inhales. Option to maybe just inhale for a count of 3 and exhale for a count of 6. The elongated exhale helps our bodies to relax a little deeper. We can just think about that count in our breath. We want to add a little extra motive for relaxation. Maybe we're inhaling those 3 counts through our left nostril and exhaling the 6 counts from our right nostril. if we're having any thoughts entering into our head, we just notice them and let them release as maybe we return to the count or return to that feeling of our breath, possibly traveling in the left nostril and relaxing out the right. Continuing our body's breathing pattern. We're welcome to continue this breathing pattern. We're beginning to travel our breath into our fingers and our toes, maybe welcoming any movements in our bodies at any time. Feeling our breath, relaxing our hands and our feet. Releasing the breath through our wrists, our ankles. Breathing through our lower legs, our lower arms. Releasing through our knees, our elbows. Relaxing our thighs, our hips, our upper arms, our shoulders. Feeling the breath traveling into the spine, resting from our tailbone, the lower back, releasing our ribs, the shoulders, the neck, the back of the head. Continuing to find peace and release as we are, maybe hugging the thighs to the chest and adding maybe a little rocky movement side to side, maybe even a little inhaling thighs away from the body, exhaling thighs towards the body, and feel just a little relaxation and rest into our breath. Anytime we're ready, we can stay on our spines or rest our body onto our side, finding a moment of relaxation with our head and our hands, those upper arms, continuing to guide in our calming breaths, maybe through those left nostrils, and pushing out anything our body just doesn't need through that right nostril into the ground. Allowing a moment of calm and peace before continuing the rest of our day. Helping our bodies press up into a comfortable seated option, whichever feels the best on our tailbone